In this video, I'm going to show you 5 ways in which you can create AI-generated images within n8n. So you can create AI-generated images within your AI workflows, your normal workflows, connecting with AI agents, essentially anything that you want to do with AI, you can now create AI images with them. I'm going to show you 5 ways how to do that. So here we are. Let's have a look at the first one. And the first one is probably the easiest one. We're going to be using OpenAI. Now, within n8n, all that we're going to need to do is come over here to the right-hand side, click on Add Node and go OpenAI. Click on this. Then we can go on Generate an Image. This is one of the options, and it's going to give us this node here. You can see this one's now being created. It's exactly the same as this one. So all we need to do here is we need to give it credentials, which I'll talk about in a minute, and we need to give it a prompt, so tell it what we need to create. We can also choose the model, but DALL-E 3 is the best one at the moment. So let me get rid of this one and show you on the one that I've got set up. So in order to create credentials, all you need to do is go across to this website here, which is platform.openai.com. You want to create an account if you don't already have an account. Once you've created an account, you'll be able to come to API keys, go and create new secret key. I'm going to call this delete, but call it whatever you want, n8n probably. And then you can see this code here. Simply copy this, come back over to n8n. You can see I've got a number of accounts already, but you won't. Just go and create a new credential, paste in that API key there, then go save. I won't because I don't need it. And then you'll be able to have a credential account with OpenAI. You'll see it here. Simply select it. And then all we need to do is hook this up to our input and our output. So for all of these, my input's going to be a chat node and the output's going to be Google Drive. So we're going to upload it to a Google Drive, but you could swap this in for whatever process that you want to run, or you could connect to an agent, whatever you want to do. This is just an example. So let's see it in action. So what's going to happen is I'm going to send off what I want. It's going to send it over to OpenAI in this node here. Then it's going to upload it to Google Drive. So let's open this. Oops, sorry. Let's open this up. Let's clear this. And let's say a space cowboy. Send that off. And you can see this is generating now with OpenAI. And once that's done, it's going to go and it's going to upload it to Google Drive. I've got a folder set up and I've got it connected with Google Drive. So it's going to upload all of these outputs there so we can see all of them together. Okay, so there we go. It's finished generating. It's now uploading it to Google Drive. It's done that. So if we go over to my Google Drive folder, open it up. Let's have a look. Come on, Google Drive. There we go. Space Cowboy. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's talk about the second way. The second way is very similar, apart from the only difference is we are using Gemini, Google Gemini, rather than OpenAI. So let's steal this, bring this down here. So the only thing we need to do is come over to the nodes, go on Gemini, click on Google Gemini, and go on Generate Image. Again, it's going to give us a node, and the only things we have to change is the credentials, the input, and the different AI image generator model if you want to change that as well. Let me delete this because I've already got it. So when you're creating an API key with Google, it's a little bit different, a little bit more tricky, just one step trickier. You come to this page here on Google AI Studio, come to API keys, but before you can create an API key, you do have to have a Google Cloud project. So you want to go to Google Cloud Console, and you want to make sure you've got a project, which is up here on the left-hand side. Just come to Google Cloud, create a project, and put in your credit card details. And then once it's here, you'll be able to come back over to AI Studio. Then you can go create API key, and you'll have to select one of your Google Cloud projects. So I can click on this one, create API key, and you can generate that API key, copy it, and we're going to use that in the next step. You will see here that the billing is tier 1. If you see something that says like free billing or free, it's not going to work. It has to be on billing. You have to be billed for this. So we come back over here. Within here, we go create new credential, and you simply paste in that API key, which we just copied. Okay, apart from that, it's pretty much the same as OpenAI. Oops, let me close this. So let's open up chat. Let's close this, and let's do something else. Let's say a medieval knight riding a rubber duck into battle. Okay, we're going to send that off to Gemini. You can see Gemini is thinking about it, and then it's going to do exactly the same thing, upload it to Google Drive once it's finished. There we go, it's done. It's just uploading it. It's uploaded it. So let's have a look. Where is it? Come on, let's reload this. There we go, Google Gemini. Oops. Open this up. Let's see our knight riding a duck. And there we go, there we have it. There is our knight riding a rubber duck into battle. Okay, so let's move on and look at the next one. So the next one is the first one which we're going to be using an API call for, rather than just a tool which is already built into n8n. However, it's not much more complicated. In fact, we're going to be using Grok, so XAI, and we're going to be doing two steps here. So Grok, rather than giving us the image back, which both of these two gave us like the image file back, this is going to give us a URL which contains our image. You might want to use the URL. You might want the URL a bit more than you want the actual image itself. But in our example, we have to then go to that URL which it provides. In fact, let me click into this. Okay, I'll show it to you later after we've generated it. We have to go to that URL, download it, and then upload it to Google Drive. So in here, this is the API call that we are sending to XAI. Now we need a couple of things for this. First, we need the API call itself. To get this, you can go to the docs. You see here, I've got a load of links to everything in here. Also, I've got all of the API calls. You can download this automation here, or this, whatever this is, this page. It's not really an automation. And it's going to have all of these templates for the API calls, as well as all these links to what you need. Link will be in the description. Go here, download it, and you can have it for free. So all we need to do is we come over to the docs, and you can see here, generate an image. It gives us this curl. So all we can do is copy this, come back over here, and we can create an HTTP request, and we can import curl, and we simply paste in that curl there, import, and you'll see if I close this, this is the one that I've just created, and it's exactly the same as this here. Now all we have to do is fill in the information. In fact, there is one difference. Here, on the one which I just copied, you can see that I've got my API key, and I just paste in my API key. On the other one, I've hidden it slightly. So let me delete that. So once you've got all of that information, the only thing is to deal with your API key. So as you just saw, you do need that API key. So if we go over to API keys, you've got to create an account first. Then you're going to be able to see a page that looks like this. Go on, create API key, give it a name, and it's going to give you that code. And you simply put that code in here. There was a step here saying authentication, and you just put it in there with the bearer before it, and that's going to work. I've actually hidden it within a header auth up here to make it a little bit more secure, because I use XAI more often than not. So that's how you run that. Then let's see this in action. So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to say a T-Rex giving a business presentation. Send that off. Grok's going to go and do its thing. And as I said, it's going to give us the URL. So we're going to use this node here. If I open it up, go to get that URL, the URL where the image is, and it's going to return an actual file. So you can see here in a minute, this is going to load. We get a URL, and we're going to be given a file because we are using this HTTP node here. Then we are going to go and upload that to Google Drive, which is now done. Go over here, have a look at it. Let's see at our T-Rex. There we go. There's our T-Rex giving a business presentation. Incredible. Okay, so let's have a look at our last two. So these last two here, these are both using open source models, which are running on someone else's machine. So what we're doing is we are now getting access to this person's machine that's running this open source model so that we can get a response. And there are two services that we're going to use to do this. One is called Replicate, one is called Hugging Face. Let me go and grab this over here. Replicate, the website looks a little bit like this. You can create a free account, you can sign in, and once you do sign in, you're going to come to a dashboard which looks like this. Actually, this is the API tokens. It's going to look a little bit like this. Then to come to the API tokens, we want to go over here, go to API tokens, and simply create yours, and it's going to give you that code which you're going to need, just like as we've seen with the other ones. Then what we need to do with Replicate is choose a model. So if we go on to models, you're going to see this page here. Now, usually, I'm not sure why it's not showing at the moment, but usually it shows the popular models. I'm just going to go on. In fact, I'm going to search for context, because I know that I want flux context. I'm going to go on this one here. And this is where we're going to get the API code, which we need. So if we go on API, then we go to HTTP, and we can copy this curl. And just like we did earlier, all we would do is create an HTTP node, and then go on import curl, paste in what we just copied, import, and we're going to see all of this information here. And you can just replace that information. Now, the one that I'm using here, you can see it's just the same as what we did. It's going to bring in all of the information relevant to this model, because this model here is different to different models that they have on replicate, right? You can have loads of different ones. So this code that you bring in here is going to have some sort of identifier telling you that it's this model, and that might be in the endpoint or it might be in the version. But all we need to do is pass in our API key, which I showed you how to generate. Then we need to input into the JSON down here, the prompt, which is just going to be from our chat node. And then what we're going to do here, I'll show you in a second what's happening here, but let's run it first of all. So I'm going to open up the chat and I'm going to say a sloth DJing and galactic rave. There we go. Send that off. Now Replicate's doing its thing very quick. And let's have a look at what's happening here. So Replicate will give us some outputs. Now you can see here that actually we don't need to do this step. We're going to do it anyway. We're using this output here. We do actually have an output which is accessible to everyone, which is here. You can view that. But another way to get it, which some models won't have this output, so you might have to use this method here, which is using this get URL. You will have to pass in your authentication again. But once you run this, it's going to give you an output, basically the same as this output here, meaning that you can access it from anywhere, which means we can download it. So then we are downloading that, and then we're uploading that to Google Drive. Hopefully that makes sense. Sometimes you need this extra step, sometimes you don't. So if we come over here, let's have a look, and let's see what we get. It's a little bit scary actually, that sloth, but there we go, there's our sloth DJing. Okay, so let's have a look at our last method, which is using Hugging Face. So Hugging Face again has loads of different models. I'm going to use this one. This one is Flux One Schnell, which is actually free. You can use it for free. And all you have to do is come across and you want to go to, where is it, View Code Snippets here. You'll want to select, let's go on two more and go Hugging Face Inference API, select that. And then you'll see here, we don't have that curl that we want. So I'm going to select JavaScript. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to come over to ChatGPT. I'm going to paste it in and I'm going to say, please convert this to curl. I'll send that off and it's going to give me the equivalent in curl. And there we go. So all we have to do is copy this, come back over to n8n, and just like we've done before, create that HTTP node and go on import curl, paste it in, and you can see all the information is brought in here. And all we have to do is replace our API key here and our input. So first of all, let me drag this over so we can have our input. Then for the API key, which I have linked here, we simply want to click on this, come to the back end of Hugging Face after you've created your account, come over here to access tokens. You'll then come to access tokens, create a token, give it all the permissions, and then it's going to give you a code. And you can see that my one is here. Put it in there, and then it's simply going to run. So we can open our chat, and one thing you can see is that Hugging Face will give us the actual file itself. We don't need to mess around and do any other retrieving of the URL, turning it into a file and then uploading it. It will give us the file. So let's open up this chat. Let's clear it and say a dog running a cafe for cats. Right, let's send that off. Hugging Face is going to generate that lovely image for us. It's going to take a second or two, but it's pretty quick, as in the name, Schnell. And then it's going to upload it. And there it is, Hugging Face. Open it up, and there we go. Here is our dog running a cafe. You can tell this is a free model because it's not that great in terms of how do you know it's a cafe for cats, but I guess it's called the purr, is it? Interesting. But anyway, there we go. Those are our 5 methods in which you can generate AI images within n8n. As I said before, you can download this automation here, which will give you all of this information. So you can take this and just drag and drop it into whatever workflow that you're running, whether that's in just a linear workflow, whether that's an AI process, an AI automation, whether that's an AI agent, and you'll be able to generate whatever AI images you like via these various different methods here. If you've liked this video, please do give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.